Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this feature presentation of the United States Air Force Band of the West. I'm Staff Sergeant Justice McKenzie. I'll be one of your hosts this evening. I'm the music arranger and social media manager for the Band of the West, and it gives me great pleasure to be here performing virtually for all of you. We've been setting up this series of live stream engagements to reach people all over our area of responsibility. Each stream targeting a different state specifically. Tonight's special state is Oklahoma, so we want to give a very special welcome to everyone watching from Oklahoma and indeed around the country. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to take a quick second to say, if you have any questions or comments about what you like, what you see, please put that in the live chat. Our musicians are here to engage with you, and we can answer your questions live on the air. Right now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the ensemble that will be your musical tour guides through this show, Spectrum Winds. Y'all, if you could just give me a quick wave. In your top left, Staff Sergeant Nicole Pompei. To your right, Technical Sergeant Jenn Kost. At the bottom left, Staff Sergeant Carolyn Sierichs. And at the bottom right, Airman First Class Corey Simmel. And she's so special, she gets her own screen. A clarinetist, Airman First Class Jessica Hughes. Y'all welcome Staff Sergeant Pompei. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Like Sergeant McKenzie said, I am Staff Sergeant Nicole Pompei. I am the bassoonist here at the Band of the West and was the temporary person who got to put together this whole program. And I'm really excited that we get to share it with you guys tonight. We'll learn a little more about me later, but I know you guys want to dig into the music, so let's do just that. This first piece that we have is titled the Silver Jubilee March, and the video that is going to accompany the piece is going to highlight the Air Force through the ages. Now, a little bit about that, the Air Force didn't become the Air Force until 1947. And before that, it played a big part in World War II as the Army Air Corps. So we are the baby of the DoD organizations, and we absolutely think that we are providing such a vital and important role in our military now. So I hope you guys enjoy our very interesting arrangement of the Silver Jubilee March.
everybody. I'm Airman First Class Jessica Hughes, and I am the clarinetist of Spectrum Winds. I am from Round Rock, Texas. I have been playing clarinet for about 12 years now. I went to the University of Texas at Austin, where I got my bachelor's degree in clarinet performance. I graduated in 2018, auditioned for the Air Force, succeeded, and nearly 2 years later, here we are. All right, so if you've been to many military band concerts, you know that there's almost always a march in our programs. That is because marches play a really important part in military history. So they're used to transport troops, they're used to boost troop morale, and they play a big role in military ceremonies, which encompasses a lot of what we do here in the Air Force. So our next piece is going to be This Is Halloween from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, I know it's a little past Halloween, but we worked hard on this video and we're pretty proud of it. So I hope you enjoy it.
All right, that was This Is Halloween. Hope you liked it. If you did like it and you like what you're hearing, make sure you click like right here on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button too. We are putting out brand new exciting content all the time. And if you want to be notified when we're putting out new music videos or having new live streams, make sure you're subscribed to us here on YouTube as well as on Facebook and Instagram. You can find links to those platforms in this video description. I want to give a shout out to some very special people who are watching here with us tonight. We've got Andrea watching from Greenville, North Carolina. Hey, Andrea. Mark Craig watching in Arkansas. former member of the Air Force Band of the West, a fantastic clarinet player. Thanks for tuning in, Mark. We've got Ann and Randy tuning in to watch their daughter. They're watching from Austin, Texas. Lexi in Ohio. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Mary Ann's watching in Fairview, Oklahoma. Thank you, especially to all of our wonderful fans in Oklahoma for tuning in tonight. We can't wait to be with you live and in person again. And now to introduce the next piece on the program. Airman Simmel, it's all you.
Good evening, everybody. Like Sergeant Mackenzie said, I am Airman First Class Corey Simmel. I am the French horn player of the group. Thank y'all so much again for joining us this Friday evening. So I grew up in Waxahachie, Texas, which is just south of Dallas. I went to Baylor University in Waco, Texas. So I just kind of went down 35 an hour and went to school there, did my undergraduate degree there, and was working on my master's when I was able to win the job with the Band of the West. And so I'm also the most recent member because I just went through basic training in January, from January until March of 2020. So I got out right when all this COVID stuff was happening, which has been very interesting, which has made our jobs a little bit different. Normally we would be performing live for y'all, with y'all, especially those in Oklahoma. That's kind of our section at this time. But thankfully over the past couple of weeks, because of technology, because of Zoom, we were able to provide those concerts for some high schools and some colleges in the Oklahoma area. And so we were still able to have an impact on those sections of our United States. So thankful for the technology to get us to do that. So the next piece that we're going to be playing is the Mozart Serenade. I think it's in C minor, and it's a very interesting piece. For a time, we did not have a flute player, and I'm sure she will talk about that a little bit later this evening. So we had to come up with one that would fit our instrumentation without flute. And so we actually had to bring in a few extra of our friends for this. So I hope you enjoy the Mozart Serenade in C minor.
Hey everyone, if that video's got you seeing double, don't worry. It's not you, it was all of us. But Spectrum wins so good, we had to have two of them. Hey, we've got a great question actually from, this question comes to us from Madison in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Madison is going to be starting band soon and wants to know which instrument you think is the hardest to play. So let's go around the room here, beginning with Airman Hughes, the hardest instrument you think is to play.
All right, so if I had to say which instrument is the hardest, I would say each instrument has its own qualities that make them all difficult. So I wouldn't necessarily base your instrument decision on how hard it is, but I will say, no offense, Airman Simmel, the French horn kind of scares me, but he makes it look easy. So again, don't let that be the basis of your decision.
Sergeant Pompei, what's the hardest instrument to play?
Have you seen how many keys my one poor little thumb has to press? So I'm not trying to be, I'm biased about this view, but I'd probably say the bassoon just in woodwind standards and probably the horn in terms of brass standards. But don't let that deter you because those are two cool instruments.
I reject that reality and substitute my own. Technical Sergeant Kost, the hardest instrument to play.
I'm going to say it's a tie between horn and oboe. This is fact-based. I am all about science. And just because they're difficult doesn't mean you should be deterred at all. Strive for challenges. You'll make the best music.
Hey, it's totally possible that Madison is asking us because Madison wants to play the most difficult one. Maybe Madison wants the challenge. Sergeant Sierichs, what do you say?
Oh gosh, I'd have to say my opinion personally is I think the piano is the hardest thing to play because there's so many different lines of music and two different things going on with your hands and your feet. So I go with piano.
And Airman Simmel, what do you think? What's the hardest instrument to pick?
Gosh, well, I agree with Airman Hughes. The French horn scares me as well sometimes. So, gosh, yeah, I've had some difficulty with that for sure. But again, it's where we've gotten to on our instruments on that skill level. What's gotten us there is that dedication and that hard work. So really with any instrument you choose, it'll have its own set of difficulties, but as long as you persevere and have that determination, you'll be able to overcome that. That being said, I would probably agree with Sergeant Pompei. I mean, there are 50 something buttons that you're in charge of. You only have 10 fingers. I don't know how that works. So I'd probably say the bassoon.
I can't believe that none of you said the tuba. I'm really, really surprised at that. Yeah, that's what happens when you mention the tuba. People laugh at you. Thanks a lot. I'm going home now. Sergeant Sierichs, take it away.
Thank you, Sergeant McKenzie. As he said, I am Staff Sergeant Carolyn Sierichs, and I am from New Orleans, Louisiana. I have been playing the flute for 27 years, and I have been in the Air Force for 11. Prior to joining the Air Force, I received a bachelor's degree in music industry studies from Loyola University in New Orleans. And after that, I went on to the Ohio State University to receive a master's in music performance. One of the great things of our job is that we work with such amazing, versatile musicians who contribute to our mission in so many different ways. And we are able to play so many different types of genres of music, including jazz, rock, country, and classical. And the next up on our program, we'd like to feature one of our groups, Top Flight, where they're performing Lady Gaga's latest hit, Rain on Me.
Hello and welcome to Red Ribbon Week 2020. I'm Master Sergeant Troy Griffin, the drummer and group leader of Top Flight. We are so excited you could join us today for this special concert. We hope it inspires you to make healthy choices and have the courage to say no to drugs. So dance around if you have the room, sing along if you know the words, and remember, be happy, be brave, be drug-free.
Ride. I only asked you to show me a real good time. I never asked for the rainfall. At least I showed up, you showed me nothing at all. It's coming down on me. Water like misery. It's coming down on me. Already rained on me. But at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, rain, rain on me, rain, rain. I'd rather be dry, but at least I'm alive. Rain on me, rain, 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 rain on me. Thunder coming
right, y'all. That was Top Flight, one of the popular music ensembles of the Air Force Band of the West, delivering that as part of Red Ribbon Week, the largest drug abuse prevention program in the country. It was a huge success last month, and I know they were super proud to be a part of such a prestigious and long-running program. I want to give a shout out to Sherry. She's watching from right here from our hometown in San Antonio, Texas. We also have, watching on the stream, one Major Dustin Doyle. Folks, that's our boss. That is the commander of the Band of the West. So if you like what you're hearing, if you like what you're seeing, make sure you sound off in that chat and let us know so that you can let him know that we're doing a good job and that you want more of this. I'd also like to get in another question from our comment section. Michelle is watching in Edmond, Oklahoma. Thanks for watching, Michelle. And she wants to know if you have a bucket list venue, Technical Sergeant Kost.
Oh, of course I do, Michelle. Red Rock Stadium in Colorado, please, because the oboe would sound wonderful there. Without amplification too, I'm sure. That's mine. I'm sure everybody else has a different one. So like Sergeant McKenzie said, I am Technical Sergeant Jennifer Kost. I am the oboist in the ensemble Spectrum Winds. I have been in the Air Force for 15 years, and I am from Lafayette, Louisiana. I did my undergrad at LSU, go Tigers, and then went on to Los Angeles, California for a master's work, and then finished up my master's at CU in Boulder, Colorado. And then I went back to Louisiana, and then I joined the Air Force and met my husband, who is from Pittsburgh, and he's a trombone player, so bless my heart. I wanted to talk to you guys about our next piece. One of the most important things we get to do as Air Force band members is we get to celebrate our heritage, which we're talking about this across the country. And the next piece that we're going to provide for you guys is a piece called What a Flyer Thinks. And this was written by Irving Berlin, who is America's musician. I'm sure you guys remember him from White Christmas and a ton of other musicals, and he really has been America's musician. He was really the one to kind of decide on what America's sound was going to be in the early 1900s. And he was really a spokesman for World War II patriotism. And I wanted to just give a shout out for the 835,000 World War II veterans who are still with us today. And he celebrated that with this song that Spectrum Winds was really fortunate to play as we celebrated the Air Force's birthday this past September. And we threw in a couple of extra awesome musicians. Senior Airman Christina Bagley and Master Sergeant Matthew Peacock joined us in this What Does a Flyer Think by Irving Berlin. Also, one more shout out to our amazing staff arranger, Staff Sergeant Justice McKenzie, who made it possible for us to play this. So this is What Does a Flyer Think by Irving Berlin and Staff Sergeant Justice McKenzie.
Answer with a
right, that was What Does a Flyer Think Of by Irving Berlin. That's from a 1944 musical called This Is the Army. I like to add in the Army Air Corps because that's where the Air Force came from. Hey, we already mentioned one great retired Master Sergeant watching, Mark Craig. We'd also like to give a shout out to another great retired Master Sergeant, John Garcia, who's watching. Oh, I'm sorry. He's not retired yet. Oh, okay. No, all right, he's not retired yet, folks. That was just wishful thinking. Hopefully someday soon, though. We kid. Master Sergeant Garcia is our director of operations, and he's the one that's making all these live streams possible to bring them to you here live on the internet. We're going to throw it to Staff Sergeant Pompei to introduce the next tune.
Hi, everyone. Sergeant Garcia, we did not prompt him to say that. I just want to, just let you know that. Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Nicole Pompei. I hail from East Hanover, New Jersey. I know it's like 8:30 East Coast time, so I think my parents might be asleep, but I'll have them catch up later on this. I am a bassoon player, like I stated earlier. I've been playing for about 15, 16 years, but who's counting? And I went to the University of Massachusetts to get my undergraduate degree in music education and bassoon performance. And 3 weeks later, I shipped off to Marine Corps basic training. And now you're thinking, Nicole, you're wearing an Air Force uniform. What's that about? And before I joined the Air Force, I actually was in the Marine Corps bands down in New Orleans, Louisiana, for 3 years, a 4-year enlistment, a year of training, and 3 years down there. I got out, moved to San Antonio for a civilian job, and found out it wasn't really my fit, and was lucky enough to have a friend tell me about this audition. And so I've been in the Air Force for almost 2 years now. So I am so grateful that these guys let me into their ranks, and I am so honored to play with them every single day. It's such a blessing. So enough about me. So I want to talk about all of the amazing people that we have in this band alone. So you see these videos and you see me playing bassoon and you see Sergeant Sierichs playing flute, and these are all expected things, right? This is our job. This is our AFSC, our specialty code, which means we play this instrument, and that's why we were hired. However, we actually have so many multi-talented people in this band, and it really helps us be the best and have the best quality products out there. So I want to give a shout out to one of our clarinetists, Airman Ben Hughes. The last name might sound familiar. And he was the guy that made all of our videos for Spectrum, minus the Halloween video, but he's also the one that did all of our audio for it too. And that's a clarinet player. We have saxophone players playing bass in top flight. That bass player was actually Senior Airman Jason Galbraith, who plays saxophone. I happen to play saxophone for the jazz band, and that is just a few. One of our tuba players is an amazing, amazing audio engineer as well. He's the one that made our Halloween video. Video engineer, sorry. And the reason I say these things is because you might see a familiar face in this next piece. And this next piece is titled Another Day of Sun from La La Land, the first scene where they're all dancing on the cars. And it's going to be performed by the other woodwind quintet, minus flute, titled Night Watch. And it also features Senior Airman Christina Backley, Airman Austin Pierce, Airman Ed Kneckel, and Master Sergeant Matthew Peacock. And I hope you enjoy Another Day of Sun.
left him at a Greyhound station west of Santa Fe. We were 17, but he was sweet and it was true. Still I did what I had to do, 'cause I just knew. Summer Sunday nights, we'd sink into our seats right as they dimmed out all the lights. A technicolor world made out of music and machine. It called me to be on that screen and live inside each scene. Without a nickel to my name, hopped a bus, here I came. Could be brave or just insane, we'll have to see. 'Cause maybe in that sleepy town he'll sit one day, the lights are down. He'll see my face and think of how he used to know me. Climb those hills, I'm reaching for the heights and chasing all the lights that shine. And when they let you down, it's another day of get above the ground. It's another day of morning rolls around, and it's another day of sun. I hear them every day, the rhythms in the canyons that'll never fade away. The ballads in the barrooms left by those who came before. They say you gotta want it more, so I bang on every door. And even when the answer's no, or when my money's running low, the disc and mic and neon glow are all I need. And someday as I sing the song, a small town kid will come along, and that'll be the thing to push him on. And he'll go, behind these hills I'm reaching for the heights and chasing all the lights that shine. And when they let you down, it's another day of get above the ground. It's another day of morning rolls around, and it's another day of sun. When they let you down, the morning rolls around. It's another day of sun. 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 The day has just begun. It's another day of sun. It's another day of sun. It's another day of sun. It's another day of sun.
That video is one of our absolute favorites to perform for y'all. I see Manon watching, one of our most devoted fans. I'm so glad you like it. Tina says, just what my heart needed tonight. Hey, we're so happy that we could be a part of your Friday evening and bring you exactly what your heart needed. As y'all can see, we have a lot of fun in our job. It is a great profession. And good news, the Air Force bands are hiring right now. If you or anyone you know is an aspiring professional musician, you've got to send them to our auditions website, which is in the video description, music.af.mil/auditions. That website looks just like this, and when you get there, head right over to upcoming vacancies, and you'll be able to see all of the upcoming auditions we have. We've got auditions coming up for every instrument right now except euphonium and music arranger. On the right, our regional band auditions. On the left, our premier band auditions. Tons of great employment opportunities. So please share that auditions information, share that website with any aspiring professional musicians you might know, and we would love to have them join our ranks in the United States Air Force bands. We've got a great question in the comments. Alexander is watching from the Oklahoma Panhandle. Welcome, Alexander. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. And Alexander wants to know, how are we recording these during the pandemic. So Jessica, before you introduce our next tune, maybe you want to talk about the recording process.
Absolutely. So we get asked pretty often about how we're producing these videos for you guys. So I'll touch on that just a little bit. So we first record the audio, and we start with just recording that individually, part by part. So we usually start with the bass part, and then we just rack and stack until we have all of our parts recorded. And then we get those sent off to our amazing, talented audio engineers, and they make it sound really, really good. They work their magic on it, and they spend lots of time making us sound really good. So after that, after we get all of that audio stuff done, then we record the video separate from the audio. And then we just line everything up and send it off to you guys. So there's a lot of other behind the scenes work that happens in order to get these videos to you. So be sure when we get to see you in person one day again at our concerts, make sure you thank our audio engineers, thank our PA people, because they've done a lot of work to produce these videos for you guys. So if you have any more questions about that, feel free to drop them in the comments and we can discuss in more details if you want. But our next piece is going to be a personal favorite of mine. It is a selection from Artie Shaw's Clarinet Concerto, featuring myself on clarinet and Senior Airman Josh Dick on drums. I hope you enjoy.
So this past year, I was fortunate enough to deploy to Ali Al Salim Air Base in Kuwait as an Air Force liaison officer in support of Operation Inherent Resolve. During this time of year, it's very important that we take a moment to remember the military members who are deployed during the holidays. Just yesterday, the Air Force band out at the Air Force Academy said goodbye to a couple of their members who headed over to Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar in support of the absent band and supporting the absent mission in the Middle East. Speaking of deployed members, I'd like to take a second and have Sergeant Mackenzie show you a quick video about the troop tree that the Band of the West is sponsoring.
Hey everybody, we need your help in supporting and encouraging our troops. I'm Airman First Class Brendan Malloy with the United States Air Force Band of the West at Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. The past couple of years, we've asked those attending our Holiday in Blue concerts to fill out cards and place them on our tree to be sent to deployed troops serving during the holiday season. The response was incredible and inspiring. This year, our Holiday in Blue concert will be happening virtually, so we're asking you to send us your holiday well wishes for the troops. We're partnering with the wonderful charity supportourtroops.org to distribute your cards to deployed service members around the globe. Here's how you can help. Simply gather as many holiday greetings as you can and send them to the address on screen. Just write something positive, kind, respectful, and thankful to the brave men and women sacrificing their time this holiday season to protect our country. Submissions for all winter holidays are encouraged. This is a great project for schools, churches, civic organizations, and individuals alike. We look forward to receiving your cards and are thankful for your help in supporting our troops.
So please, if you feel inclined to, send a letter to the troop tree to let all the troops know that you're thinking of them this holiday season. Next up on our program, we'd like to pay tribute to our deployed members with the playing of Aaron Copeland's Letters from Home, performed by Spectrum Winds.
Well, that piece really tugs at the heartstrings, and we hope that you remember keeping your thoughts and prayers, all of our deployed service members, and especially over the holiday season. And we encourage you to write them a card via the Troop Tree Project. Again, you can see that instructional video by rewinding this stream, or that video is also posted to our Facebook page. That is, the link to our Facebook is in the description. I want to take a second and remind all of you to make sure you subscribe to our Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. That way you'll be notified every time we release new, fun, exciting content and every time we go live. And one of our big projects of the year is going to be presented via live stream nationwide. It is Holiday in Blue. It's going to be a fantastic production. It's going to be huge, first of all. We have enlisted the help of a PBS affiliate to help us with the videography. It's going to have performances by other Air Force bands, not just the Band of the West, and tons of performing ensembles from within the Band of the West. You do not want to miss this show, folks. It's going to air right here on our YouTube channel Saturday, December 19th. So make sure you're subscribed here on YouTube and the rest of our social media channels. We've got one more question before Technical Sergeant Kost introduces the next tune. Xiomara, I hope I'm saying that right. Xiomara is watching in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and wants to know, when can you see a live performance again? Sergeant Kost?
Oh, thank you for asking that question. We are dying to have another live performance. We cannot wait. It's coming. We're all hopeful. We are just waiting for the time to be safe. Please know that we will be there in our area of responsibility as soon as we possibly can. Please know that. With that, I would like to just let you know that we are constantly celebrating you guys in Oklahoma and throughout our area of responsibility. And with this awesome, silver lining here at this point. COVID has been difficult and we've been struggling with the pandemic and how to perform live music, but we have been able to reach so many people and really reach out beyond our area of responsibility as our brother and sister bands have been able to do. So with that being said, we can reach out to more veterans, which is what my lead in is going to be for our next piece. My favorite part of our performances, and this is in our live performances especially, but virtually, we want to celebrate our veterans. And we would not be here without them, without their guidance, without their strength. And so it's very important with our time in the concert that we reserve this time to celebrate our veterans. Before that, I need to just kind of mention to you guys, and not mention, lighthearted, our threefold mission as an Air Force bandsman. It's to honor, inspire, and connect. And I feel like with you guys tonight in the virtual world, I can't see you, that hurts me, but I know you're out there. We have hopefully inspired you to celebrate our country and celebrate our values that we have, as well as connected to you, because please know we are reaching out to you even though we don't see you, even though it's a virtual world for us. But most importantly, right now, we want to honor our veterans. And so we get to introduce one more amazing ensemble in the Band of the West, and that is our Dimensions in Blue Jazz Band, for you guys to hear our armed services medley to celebrate all of our veterans from all of the armed services. So if you're out there, please, and you should, stand up when you hear your service song, Armed Services Medley from Dimensions in Blue.
United States Army. the United States Navy.
The United States Marine Corps.
The United States Coast Guard.
United States Air Force.
Thank you so much to everyone who has served in the armed forces, everyone who has served before us. We truly stand on the shoulders of giants. Thank you to everyone serving right now. We thank you for your service from the bottom of our hearts. As you can see, we've been joining you from our homes tonight, and we can't wait until we're able to get back out there in person and perform for you and connect with you and hear your stories and shake your hands. You'd be surprised how much we just miss shaking the hands of our audience. But until that time, thanks so much for tuning in. I've been Staff Sergeant Mackenzie. I will continue to be Staff Sergeant Mackenzie. I have been your host tonight, and to wrap things up and send you out with one more favorite, Airman First Class Corey Simmel.
As Sergeant Mackenzie said, with the live performances, because I got in right when all this COVID stuff happened, I haven't even been able to do a live performance yet. So I'm very excited for that moment when it does come. But as Sergeant Kost mentioned, she mentioned our mission, which is to honor, inspire, and connect. And with this different time that we've been living in, we've had to do what we have to do in the Air Force, and that is to be flexible and to adapt and for that mission to continue. So as you see here, tonight we're doing this via the live stream, and we've been doing some of our TDYs over Zoom as well with some schools in Oklahoma. So we've been continuing on with that mission as best we can during this time. So again, thank you all so much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. I did want to mention that if you have any more questions or comments, feel free to leave those in the comment box, and we'll sure try to answer those and get back to you even once the video has finished. And tune in tomorrow for our Mission Winds, which is our clarinet quartet. They have a concert in the same format at 6 p.m. Central. So make sure to tune in for that. Our next piece is another rendition of that we did a Spectrum Winds, ending with a march, as we do in the military, which is Stars and Stripes Forever. However, Sergeant Sierichs, our flute player, was not with us when we recorded this. So you might be wondering, isn't there a big piccolo solo? So you have to wait to the end to see where that was redistributed. And, thankfully, Sergeant Mackenzie, he, as one of our arrangers, he is able to rearrange that music for that. And he chose a different instrument for it. So you'll have to wait and see what he did for that. Thanks again for joining us.